Well, it's finally stopped raining here in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. I haven't been able to make a video lately. Well, I missed last week. I'm only 1 week behind my usual schedule. But the weather has just been so bad for that. And the funny thing is, the week before, it was almost spring here. The temperature got up to 16 degrees. I forget what that is Fahrenheit. I looked it up, but you can look that one up yourself. But anyway, it was nice and warm. I even had a window open in the Big Shot Studios. And it had the air had that smell to it that you get in the springtime, sort of like that fresh smell. As soon as I was getting ready to make a video about that, it started raining, and it hasn't stopped since, well, it stopped early this morning. And supposedly we're going to get some sunshine today. So I hope that happens. It's actually warm today too. It's 8 degrees. If you watch my videos regularly, you'll be happy to hear that JD Power and Associates has rated this video as 8.7 times better than my last one. Now you might think that's a big number, but if you've seen my last video, no, almost anything would be 8.7 times better. In fact, the last video was so bad that instead of paying me to put the video on YouTube, YouTube sent me an email telling me that if I kept up at my current level of production, that they would have to start charging me to publish the videos. So I have to up my game here. Now, I know some of you right now are thinking this guy's videos are so bad. How does he make any money on YouTube? So just to give you some idea of how much money I make making these videos, I've been saving up for a while for a new pair of shoelaces, and I'm almost there. That's how much I get paid from YouTube. Okay, enough of this. Let's get started. I've been watching a lot of videos lately about the MM2H program in Malaysia. It's a long-term residence visa / retirement program. And I'm amused by how wrong some people get it. I made a video about this, I think it was a couple of months ago. And I'll link it up there at the top of the screen. You can watch it if you feel like it, but MM2H is not a retirement visa anymore. But I saw one video recently that said not only is it a retirement visa, but you could also achieve permanent residency there or citizenship. And I had to laugh because getting permanent residency in Malaysia or citizenship is almost impossible. Citizenship, forget it. You're not going to immigrate to Malaysia and become a citizen. That is not going to happen. And permanent residency, there is a part of the MM2H program that has been announced as a tier of the new program that has permanent residency as a possibility. But I'll eat my hat if anybody actually gets on that program and is then granted permanent residency. If you know anything about residency or citizenship in Malaysia, you know that that's just not going to happen. I think, like I said before, I used to think of using the MM2H as part of my retirement scheme. But the more I think about it, and the more I travel around, I figured out that I don't really want to be tied down to one place as far as retirement is concerned. Certainly not a place that I have to pay for. And when MM2H changed their application requirements in 2021, I think it was, all of a sudden the program became much more expensive than I was willing to pay. So I sort of took that off the table. And in the recent announcements about the tiering levels, where it's either you have to have a gigantic fixed deposit, 500,000, 2 million, or 500 million. All right, it's not 500 million. That's not it. What is it? 5 million, that's it. 500 million ringgit. Yeah, they'd make you prime minister with that amount of money. But no matter what it was, I decided this is outside of my price range, so I decided not to even consider it anymore. Now, the unfortunate thing about MM2H is that it just allows people to bash Malaysia, and especially this last group of announcements about the tiering program. And if you don't know what that is, I'll try to leave a link in the description below so that you can figure out, if you're interested in that, what it's all about. But there was that announcement back in December, November, somewhere around in there. And then there's been complete radio silence since then. Nothing has been announced. The program was supposed to start in February. And I was listening to a video from one of the agents that actually help people apply for this. They haven't heard anything about it. The government is not accepting applications. So it seems like MM2H has been shut off once again to where new applicants are not being accepted. I'm not sure why the government seems to be having such a hard time with this program. When they first redid the entire application scheme in 2021, a lot of people online just said that, well, they just don't want people to come and retire in Malaysia. They don't want foreigners coming into the country like that and staying for long periods of time. Well, it doesn't really make sense to think that, because if they didn't want them to come in, then why have any visa program? Doesn't matter how much they charge. If you don't want them to come in, then don't have the program. It's as simple as that. So I think they do want people to come in and retire, but for some reason they're not being transparent about the kind of people or the people that they want. Clearly, though, I think they do want people to come into the country and stay long term in terms of retirement or whatever other reason they have for being there long term. When I was there from 2013 to 2018, but I had a work permit and a multi-entry visa. Those two things go together, by the way. You can't have, it doesn't make sense to have one without the other. But I had a contract to work there. That's why I like the place so much. It's just that when the question of retirement comes up, when I think of retirement, I think of going there and staying there for retirement. Now, you could go there and travel a lot, but what would be the point for that? You could easily stay home wherever that is and travel a lot. And plus the added cost of the MM2H application, it just doesn't interest me anymore. And like I said, I'd rather travel from place to place and stay somewhere for a while and then travel somewhere else. Well, with this lousy weather lately, the last week, I've already started making plans, and I just can't wait to get on the road again. Although I don't have a concrete destination or departure date finalized yet. I will be back to Malaysia at some point within this year, but I'm not exactly sure exactly when that would be. The interesting thing is, once I get on the road, I usually make decisions about it month to month. I don't plan out the entire trip. It's too hard to do that for a long period of time because you end up changing things anyway, so it doesn't make sense to try to plan a 6, 8, 10-month trip before you even go. So I usually do that while I'm on the road. If you are interested in MM2H, I'm going to put a link to a company called Teg Media in the description of this video. They are agents for the MM2H program, and they occasionally have updates about the program on YouTube. So that might be the place to get real information about MM2H. And if they don't have information, they say they don't have information. But anyway, check out Teg Media. They have all the info that you need. If you don't see a video about it, then you can always contact the company directly. They are in Malaysia, and they can give you the scoop on what's going on. Another channel I'd like to recommend for anyone that's actually considering a lot of travel when they retire is one that's called Retirement Travelers. These guys are amazing. It's a husband and wife team. John and Bev, I think, are their names. But they travel a lot. They're what they call, or what I would call, fast travelers. They're usually in each location that they go to for about a week, and then they go on somewhere else. And they've picked up a lot of tips. They've learned a lot of different tricks on travel, picking spots to live, how to negotiate some of the questions like banking, phones, things like that. I find them very interesting to listen to. You know, some of the things that they've discovered, I have also discovered, but there's still new things that I'm learning that they tell about in their videos. So I'll leave a link to them also in the description below. But I find those videos very interesting. I think that's about going to do it for this week's video. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more informative one next week, and hopefully I can stay out of YouTube jail where they don't charge me to publish my videos. And maybe next time I get a check from YouTube, I'll be able to buy those new shoelaces. Be seeing you.